To understand the very first gospel promise, you've got to keep some names straight. The first is Ish, or man, and his partner in crime is Isha in Hebrew, woman. She's named woman because she was taken out of man. The man's got another name, Adam, or Adam in Hebrew, coming from the Hebrew word Adamah, for dirt. So man comes from dirt, woman comes from man, we're all standing on common ground. The woman's got another name too, but not yet in the story. When God speaks the very first promise, he's talking to the serpent, this mysterious evil character that brings temptation and sin into the world. The very first part of the promise is that God will put enmity between the serpent and the woman, between her seed and his. Now this seed of the woman becomes a character all of his own, and his job is to enter into warfare with this snake in the grass. That cosmic battle between the seed of the woman and this evil force is described by God in these terms. He says to the snake, "The seed will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." Both the serpent and the seed strike with deadly force, so if you're keeping score at home, at this point it stands 1-1. Now there's some indication that Adam believes this promise as a promise. He names the woman Eve, mother of all the living. There's some indication that Eve believes the promise. When she has a son, she says in Hebrew, "I've had the man, Yahweh." Turns out Eve's firstborn is not the promised seed, but as the story continues, the focus begins to narrow down and down and down until finally, in a small city of Bethlehem, in a manger, Jesus is born. As the promised seed of the woman, Jesus enters into cosmic battle with the serpent from Genesis 3, the snake who will strike the seed's heel. Jesus receives a death blow from his mortal enemy, and if you're still keeping score, it doesn't look so good for the home team. The cross is Jesus entering into our failure, joining us in our defeat. When Jesus steps out of the tomb on the third day, the heel that crushes the serpent's head bears human scars. The resurrection of Jesus is God the Father overturning defeat. And just as Jesus entered into my failure on the cross, I enter into the tomb with Jesus and come out again to new life. Failure no longer defines me. Now I am defined by love. In the very last chapters of the Bible, the old evil snake gets another name. He's identified as Satan, enemy of God and God's people. In those same chapters, Jesus names himself the Coming One, the one coming soon to bring final victory. The ancient enemies square off in cosmic battle once again, but it's no contest. The serpent is thrown into the pit, they lock the door and throw away the key, so that when Jesus, the seed of the woman, the Coming One, invites you into that banquet feast that knows no end, in the new creation, your failure will be a thing of the past. And when you put on your name tag for the eternal meet and greet known as the wedding feast of the Lamb, your most enduring identity marker will be the fact that you are loved. You are loved by the seed of the woman who entered into your failure. You are loved by Jesus who gives you eternal victory in the ultimate fulfillment of a promise made way back in Genesis 3:15.